Since childhood, I was fascinated by the spy stories, their glamorous lifestyles, the way they would use their charm to get into the social elite club and be a part of them, just seamlessly blend with them. Is something which I never could wrap my head around. So I read a lot about this espionage system that still exists. I came across a terminology called double agent. Then I read about Mata Hari and Kim Philby. Both of them led an undercover agent's life. They've actually fooled the governments. Many lives got destroyed. Millions of properties were damaged. They themselves didn't meet with good endings. But who cares about that? Nonetheless, history will always remember them. We'll be fascinated by their stories. Let me just start talking about one of this double agent called Kim Philby. But before I get into his story, let me just talk about what this terminology double agent means. Double agent is those people who actually act for an organization or a country, but undercover they are just ratting out all the information to the enemy country. They're leaking all the classified information and causing destruction of millions of lives and properties, and sometimes even they are the result why war happens. Kim Philby. Why is this character so fascinating and so interesting? Kim Philby actually graduated from the University of Cambridge and Oxford. So he already had an access in the elitist club, in the exclusive men club, and he established himself to be a former supporter of Soviet Union. Someone who was an ex-Marxist, but that is a past behind him. And very quickly he gained trust of his friends. Soon got hired by MI6. What he did after that became the story of his life. For 20 years he served British government as an agent, as a spy, but actually undercover he was working for Soviet Union. He socialized with his colleagues. He even slept with a few of them. He was out and out known as a womanizer, had many affairs, had 4 marriages. He used to love dirty limericks, but was still very charming, very charismatic, very dynamic, to be liked by people who can be trusted very easily. His cover got blown because one of his colleagues, who was also a double agent, rat on him, leaked his information to the MI6, and when he got caught, the entire MI6 was shaken because they could not even believe the fact that this guy who was with them for so many years was actually an undercover Soviet Union agent. So there are many interesting stories around his life which inspired many authors to write different types of books. Some are even fiction. There's a story written where he is basically aiding the Soviet Union to come up with a nuclear weapon to destroy British government. In another book, one of his past lover digs out his past and his links with Soviet Union, but she herself got into danger very quickly. Then there are movies also which are made inspired by his story. Definitely someone who yields a lot of interest among readers. So I would suggest that if you haven't read any espionage book, then he would be the best one to read about. Subscribe my YouTube channel, press the bell icon. I'm also present on Instagram as the 9th Born. Follow me there.